Amy Wong, smart, fearless, and never afraid to push the limits. From wild romances to unexpected scandals, here are her most racy and talked about moments in Futurama. Put Your Head on My Shoulders, Season 2, Episode 7. Let's begin with one of Amy's earliest and most unforgettable appearances, a Valentine's tale that turned unexpectedly bold. The episode opens when Amy visits a hovercar dealership and buys a new hovercar, a sleek red convertible that seems to mirror her own sense of style. Later, eager to show it off, she invites Leela and Fry for a ride.
I'm taking my new car out for a spin to Mercury. Anybody want to come?
Yeah, okay.
But it's Fry who joins her for the trip to Mercury. From the start, their chemistry is undeniable, and as they speed across space, once they reach Mercury, the car runs out of fuel, leaving them stranded under the blazing heat. Trying to cool off, Amy casually unzips her shirt, but it doesn't help much with the temperature. Instead, the move feels more flirty than practical, catching Fry completely off guard. Amy calls Amerasian Auto Association for help. Meanwhile, Fry and Amy have random chit-chat.
My folks were always on me to groom myself and wear underpants. What am I, the Pope?
On the way back home, Fry and Amy lean in and kiss. The moment feels charged, far more sensual than the show's usual comedic rhythm, where Amy's flirtation turns openly physical. By the time they return to Earth, Amy's bold behavior has everyone talking. At the conversation table, she and Fry can hardly keep their hands off each other, exchanging teasing looks and holding hands non-stop. Later, they sneak into the supply room, lock the doors, and start making out, with Fry proudly declaring,
We're great kissers.
Yeah.
Amy plans another romantic outing, this time to Europa, clearly growing more affectionate and forward with Fry. But before Fry can respond properly, their trip takes a shocking turn when Zoidberg grabs the steering wheel, causing a crash. Fry's body is destroyed, but Zoidberg saves him by attaching his head to Amy's shoulder. Literally, now Fry is attached with Amy all the time and has all rights over her body. Eventually, Fry admits he likes Amy but feels like they've been spending too much time together. He nervously suggests that they start seeing other people.
Amy, I really like you as a friend, but I think we're spending too much time together. I just think we should start seeing other people.
Amy doesn't seem too bothered. She agrees instantly and even asks if she can go on a Valentine's date with someone else. While getting ready for her date, Amy is shown in her undergarments, casually adjusting herself in front of the mirror. But with Fry's head still attached to her shoulder, things turn uncomfortably awkward as he keeps tugging at her bra straps, unable to look away. That night, they head out on an awkward double date. Amy with a charming man named Gary, and Fry, still stuck to her, paired with an elderly woman Bender arranged. Fry's date leaves almost immediately, while Amy and Gary sit close, flirting openly despite Fry's presence. Gary even leans in to take her home, but Fry's attached head makes things impossible. Finally, Leela steps in and distracts Gary with endless talk about banking regulations. The next morning, Zoidberg successfully reattaches Fry's head to his own body. Amy and Fry quietly go their separate ways, ending one of Amy's most awkward and surprisingly risque moments in the series. But that wasn't the end of Amy's wild side, because her next spotlight moment came with wings, strength, and plenty of style. The butter junk effect. Season 7, Episode 6. Every now and then, Futurama takes a wild idea and turns it into something both hilarious and daring. The butter junk effect is one of those episodes, starting with a simple moon mission and ending with one of Amy Wong's most talked about moments. While returning the stolen Apollo moon rocks, the crew discovers the Butterfly Derby, a flashy mid-air wrestling sport where women in colorful wingsuits battle while performing acrobatic stunts. It's equally bizarre and glamorous, with the contestants performing acrobatic stunts while wearing skin-tight flight outfits that look more suited for a fashion show than a contact sport. When the announcer asks for challenges, Amy and Leela can't resist jumping in.
Do we have 2 volunteers to go wing to wing with the murder flies?
Come on, Amy.
At first, Amy and Leela enter the Butterfly Derby wearing their regular clothes under the flight wings, clearly unprepared for what's ahead. The reigning champions easily overpower them, tossing them around the arena like ragdolls. Despite the embarrassing loss, the promoter is impressed by their energy and signs them up as a new team called the Wingnuts. But this time in the match, they're shown wearing rather unusual outfits. And for the next round, they take it up a notch, appearing in their boldest looks yet. They dressed in short bottoms and a tight top with a belt just below the chest, paired with boots and dramatic wings. But despite their effort, Amy and Leela keep losing every single match. Everything changes when they see their opponents are secretly using a substance called nectar, a powerful performance enhancer that boosts strength and stamina.
It's a plant-based supplement that bulks up your flapping muscles. Wanna try it?
Desperate to win, Amy and Leela try it too, and soon transform into muscular, hyper-confident versions of themselves. Under Nectar's influence, Amy becomes noticeably more aggressive, competitive, and brash, a huge contrast from her usual bubbly personality. Her new strength also changes the way she's drawn and animated. Broader shoulders, sharper tone, and a physical intensity that gives the episode a far more adult edge. This heavy body tears up her usual outfit, turning it sleeveless and even shorter. After that, on the battlefield, Amy and Leela become an unstoppable duo, defeating every opponent that comes their way. Their next match was against the Murderflies, a team of fierce, powerful women who had dominated the competition. The chaos peaks when their nectar supply finally runs out.
Listen up! We're out of nectar, and we need a new source!
The professor discovers that the substance actually comes from a rare flower on Kif's home planet, Amphibios 9, so the crew sets off to collect more. While exploring a butterfly preserve there, Fry gets sprayed by a male butterfly's pheromones, making him smell and even taste like pure nectar. Leela becomes increasingly drawn to Fry under the influence of the nectar and ends up kissing him. He even tastes like the nectar itself. Overcome with desire, she tells him to keep his door open that night.
Keep your door unlocked tonight.
But Amy takes advantage of the situation. When Fry hears a knock and says, "Come in," he assumes it's Leela, but it's Amy. She slips into his bed and starts making out with him. Just then, Leela walks in and catches them. Furious and hurt, Leela confronts them, accusing them of betrayal. In the heat of the moment, she kisses Fry again, but Amy refuses to back down, saying,
Hey, just because he's your boyfriend doesn't mean you get him all to yourself.
and joins in. The professor steps in and explains that the nectar is causing their uncontrollable behavior. Even after returning to their planet, both Amy and Leela struggle to resist Fry, clinging to him and fighting for his attention, while Fry seems to enjoy all the chaos. Realizing how far things have gone, they decide to quit the nectar once and for all. They even handcuff themselves to the bed to keep from drinking it again. Eventually, they overcome their addiction and return to the battlefield without the nectar. At first, they are nearly defeated by the insect girls, but before the final blow, Fry, now transformed into an insect due to the nectar, arrives. Both butterfly girls are instantly attracted to him, halting the fight. Later, the professor treats Fry and everything finally returns to normal. After that, Amy trades romance for research, but things quickly take a turn that's far from academic. That Darn Cats, Season 6, Episode 8. At first glance, That Darn Cats seems like just another light-hearted Futurama adventure filled with adorable space cats. But as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that this episode belongs to Amy Wong. What starts as a silly idea about cats taking over the world quickly turns into one of Amy's boldest and most attention-grabbing appearances in the entire series. It begins with Amy nervously preparing to defend her doctoral dissertation in applied physics. She's designed a machine that can capture the Earth's rotational energy and turn it into unlimited power. Feeling tense before her big day, the professor suggests she relax and take a break. So the whole crew heads to a club. There, Amy appears in a short, strapless blue dress. Later, she heads to the dance floor with Kif, and before long, she's getting quite clingy with him. They even share a kiss. Unable to control themselves, Kif asks,
Your place or mine?
and you wouldn't believe her reply. She says,
Both, but first, this place.
Then they slowly move down, and honestly, that was a bit too much. The next morning, she's shown sleeping in Kif's bed, almost naked, wearing just a bikini. The scene was undeniably racy, the kind that leaves little to the imagination. But that's not all. She wakes up late and suddenly realizes she's already late for her thesis presentation. In a panic, she rushes straight to class, only to discover she forgot to put on clothes. Yep, she's literally standing there in a bikini during her presentation. How can someone even forget that? Thankfully, Professor Farnsworth hands her his lab coat so she can continue without causing more of a scene. Amy's big moment falls apart because of one small, furry distraction: Professor Katz's pet cat. The cat triggers her allergies, and between sneezing and losing focus, she completely ruins her presentation. Her dream of becoming Dr. Wong slips away in front of everyone. Defeated, she returns to Planet Express, unaware that the cat has secretly followed them. The crew quickly falls for its cuteness, while only Amy and Nibbler remain suspicious. Amy soon notices that everyone's acting strangely, treating the cat like a leader and even rebuilding her rejected invention.
They actually built the planetary ratchet from my thesis!
Then the truth comes out. The cats are aliens from planet Thubar 9. Long ago, they came to Earth and built the pyramids to draw power from the planet's rotation. Now, using Amy's invention, they plan to finish the job and steal Earth's energy to save their dying world. Under the cats' hypnotic control, the crew helps them drain the planet's spin, leaving one side burning and the other frozen. Captured with Nibbler, Amy can only watch in horror as the world falls apart. Now the crew finally comes to their senses, and Amy explains everything that happened. Soon, everyone is seen planning how to fix it, while one side of the planet burns under extreme heat, leaving everyone drenched in sweat. Amid the chaos, Amy is shown in a sexy sports bra, determined and focused. She suggests that even turning it in the opposite direction might work, and acts quickly. Her bold move pays off, and she succeeds. Her courage and intellect finally earn her the title Dr. Wong, proving she's every bit as capable as the other scientists. That Darn Cat stands out as one of Amy Wong's most daring episodes, mixing humor, chaos, and a surprising dose of risque moments. From her bold club scenes to the unexpected bikini mishap, the episode pushes her character into unusually racy territory. Moving forward, Amy's confidence takes an even bolder turn in a love story that defies every rule of the future. Proposition Infinity, Season 6, Episode 4. Proposition Infinity isn't just another sci-fi satire. It's the episode where Amy Wong breaks every rule of love in the 31st century. After losing Kif, she dives headfirst into one of the strangest, boldest, and most taboo relationships the show ever explored. The story begins when Amy bails Bender out of jail after one of his usual vandalism stunts. She arrives with Kif, but things quickly take a wild turn when she meets Larry, a tattooed burglar and murderer. Intrigued, Amy flirts with him and, shockingly, turns around and lowers her pants to show off her own tattoo when he mentions his. Kif, embarrassed by her reckless behavior and constant flirting with bad boys, finally breaks up with her.
You and I are through!
Heartbroken but defiant, Amy celebrates her single life with Leela, Fry, and Bender, but her bold streak doesn't stop there. After a heated argument with Bender, she snaps back.
You know what happened to the last guy who told me to shut up?
What?
The very next scene shows Amy and Bender in bed together, clearly having hooked up. What follows is a string of racy moments as the two begin openly dating and making out everywhere. Amy and Bender's chemistry soon becomes impossible to ignore. They're caught kissing in the middle of the street, drawing attention from bystanders who start labeling them as symbols of robosexuality. Bender quickly fools the crowd, and the two slip away, but their secret doesn't stay hidden for long. The entire crew eventually walks in on them mid-makeout, with Amy only wearing her underwear and her bra tossed to the floor. When Amy and Bender's secret relationship is exposed, chaos erupts. Professor Farnsworth alerts her parents, who demand she stay away from robots and try to set her up with human men. Amy refuses every suitor and reunites with Bender with the help of Fry, while Bender proposes to her in front of the crew. But robosexual marriage is illegal, so the two launch Proposition Infinity, a campaign to legalize human-robot unions. As the planet debates their love, Amy stands firm, proud, and unapologetic, defying criticism and embracing her bold new confidence. During a live debate moderated by George Takei's head, Farnsworth admits his prejudice comes from heartbreak, turning public opinion in Amy's favor. Proposition Infinity passes, making history. Yet in true Futurama fashion, Bender backs out when he realizes marriage means monogamy, and Amy eventually reconciles with Kif, ending one of her most daring and controversial storylines. From Amy's flirtatious tattoo moment to her steamy affair with Bender, the episode pushes her character into daring new territory. Coming up, an episode that highlights Amy at her best. Clever, daring, and never afraid to push boundaries. A Clockwork Origin, Season 6, Episode 9. It all begins at an anti-evolution protest, where Farnsworth tries to explain how humans evolved from ancient apes. Standing against him is Dr. Banjo, a hyper-intelligent orangutan who refuses to accept science. Farnsworth talks about evolution, but Banjo brushes it off, calling evolution just a theory. The professor mentions the link between humans and apes, Homo erectus, yet Banjo keeps arguing, demanding a link between Homo erectus and even older species. The debate keeps spiraling until Farnsworth realizes that, indeed, one link is still missing. Determined to find it himself, he sets off to uncover the truth, taking the Planet Express crew, including Amy, to the birthplace of Ryan Seacrest for a fossil dig. During the grand world premiere where Farnsworth reveals his discovery, Amy turns heads in a deep red gown, bold and confident, but also noticeably revealing for a show that usually leans on humor rather than visual appeal. But before the celebration can begin, Banjo crashes the event and twists the professor's discovery, claiming the fossil, Homo Farnsworth, actually disproves evolution because it shows humans living alongside dinosaurs.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Embarrassed and angry, Farnsworth decides to leave Earth and takes his crew to a lifeless planet. There, he releases nanobots into a pond to clean the water, not realizing he's about to trigger evolution all over again. This time, mechanical evolution. The tiny robots quickly grow, multiply, and form entire species of robotic creatures. Soon, they crawl out of the water, destroy the spaceship, and attack the crew. The chaos tears through everyone's clothes, leaving them in an awkward and embarrassing state. Amy's outfit in particular ended up far more damaged than the others. It was more like torn up underwear and a very revealing bra. Shocked and exposed, the crew ran for safety and hides inside a cave, sealing the entrance with a stone as the metallic creatures continued to evolve outside. Inside the cave, the crew eats some leftover pizza and tries to rest. But really, how could anyone sleep comfortably after everything that just happened? Especially Amy, still in that torn and uncomfortable outfit, surrounded by the whole crew in a cramped cave. By morning, the planet looks completely different. The nanobots have turned into giant metal trees. Then a robotic dinosaur attacks Fry, followed by a robot triceratops that makes things worse. A sudden solar flare destroys all the robots, and the crew decides to rebuild their ship from the remains. But while they sleep, the robots evolve again and take Amy and Leela away.
We gotta save them, but the only weapon we have is my fan dance.
The next day, the crew finds a new robot city where Amy and Leela are safe.
We went to sleep, and when we woke up, our cave husbands were gone.
The robots have become more advanced and friendly. Professor Farnsworth proudly shows a picture of Bender riding a robot dinosaur, but it causes outrage. The robots accuse him of lying about their evolution and arrest him. Bender defends him in court, saying the professor didn't create them. He only started the process.
He claims only to have played a small role in supplying the initial machinery.
Before the trial ends, the robots evolve again into glowing energy beings and lose interest in physical life. They release the crew and send them home. In the end, A Clockwork Origin may be known for its science debate, but it's also remembered for how boldly Amy Wong was portrayed. Her bright red gown at the fossil event was designed to draw attention, low-cut, form-fitted, and far more revealing than what the series usually showed. Inagada de Leela, Season 6, Episode 2. And just when it seemed Futurama couldn't push things any further, this next moment proved otherwise. As the Planet Express crew tries to deal with the threat of a deadly satellite called V Ginny, panic starts spreading across Earth. The professor reveals that the sphere is censoring entire planets it deems indecent, vaporizing them one by one. While Leela and Zap Brannigan are sent on a mission to destroy it, Fry worries about Leela's safety, but Hermes coldly remarks,
"What difference does it make? When that death sphere gets to Earth, we'll all be blown to manwich meat!"
And then Amy decides to lighten the mood in her own way. With the world possibly ending, she casually declares,
I guess it's time to indulge in some end-of-the-world debauchery. Who's up for an orgy?
It's bold, absurd, and pure Amy Wong, turning panic into playfulness. But what happens next takes things even further. Moments later, she disappears from the room, and when she returns, she's wearing a full black leather outfit, strapped corset, thigh-high boots, and a whip in her hand. Her confident grin says it all.
So, the orgy's off?
Perfectly unfazed by the stunned faces around her. The moment lasts only a few seconds, but it's one of Amy Wong's most daring and unforgettable scenes. The contrast is perfect. The world is ending, everyone's panicking, and Amy shows up dressed like she's about to headline a futuristic nightclub show. It's a blink and you'll miss it gag, but one the fans never forgot. Meanwhile, out in space, Leela and Zap continue their surreal mission, trapped together on their fake paradise planet as the V Ginny death sphere looms closer, leaving Amy's bold moment as the perfect dose of dark humor and flirtatious chaos back on Earth. So there you have it. Amy Wong's racy and most unforgettable moments in Futurama. Which one shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if you enjoyed the ride, and subscribe for more deep dives into the wild side of Futurama.